What's up guys, welcome to Veldora-kun. From our previous episode, we have witnessed Lumina's revenge on Veldora. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, I will put the link in the description below. Just a quick warning, these videos contain spoilers from the light novel. I also want to share to you my YouTube membership, Veldora's Loyal Knights. For more details, just click the join button below. Also, don't forget to join our Discord community, Veldora-kun Subordinates. The link is in the description. See you there. So now in this video we will review what happened next, which is the resolution between Rimuru and Luminas. But before we will proceed, please like, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Now without further ado, let's proceed with the video. Veldora shrieked, "Wait! Does my opinion not matter at all?" Both Luminas and Rimuru pretended they didn't hear anything. Luminas then casted an attack, "Then I shall release all my hatred for you once and for all, embrace of death." Veldora screamed and it appeared as if Luminas was hugging Veldora, but there was certainly no sweet sentiment behind it. Even though the two were different in build, it still could be considered as a type of bear hug. Yet Rimuru thinks that it wouldn't be enough to hurt Veldora, so Wisdom King Raphael answered, "Answer." She is absorbing the magical energy from the target while inserting sensations of excruciation and sickness into target's body. If the transmission of such nervous signals is not intercepted, it will not be affected by pain nullification and will directly attack the soul. In other words, even if Veldora the astral life form would sustain this attack of forced pain. In some sense, it was far crueler than just eliminating him directly. With the near-infinite stores of energy Veldora had, no amount of energy draining on Luminas could kill him, but he would become exhausted afterwards. That, on top of excruciation and sickness, would make the perfect combo for torture. Lumina's attack continued for a while. Veldora started crying out and even stared at Rimuru with sad puppy eyes, but Rimuru watched him silently and with no mercy. This would be best for Veldora as well. Or rather, if sacrificing Veldora would make Luminas feel better, then Rimuru will consider this as political transaction. Rimuru thinks to himself, "Forgive me, Veldora." Pope Louis says, "Well, at least Luminas-sama also seems to be enjoying it. I feel happy that she gets to cleanse her resentment of late." And Hinata agrees, "Yes. Right now, we are still not clear about who was responsible for killing Roy. We wouldn't want any needless hostility right now. But there's something that's been bugging me, could he actually be?" Hinata turns to Veldora with confusion in her eyes. Rimuru recalls that Veldora hasn't been formally introduced. So Rimuru talks, "That's Veldora. Kind of hard to tell when he's not in dragon form and all, but it's definitely him. Since he appears to be quite busy at the moment, I'll properly introduce him to you all later." Veldora talks while feeling pain, "Hold on, Rimuru. Please introduce me now." And Luminas talked back, Still haven't had enough, eh?" Veldora's desperate attempts to escape were only met with more intense voltage from Luminas. Poor guy, it was his fault for trying to escape Luminas. Hinata muttered in shock, "So this was the storm dragon that Luminas-sama has been on guard against all this time? Certainly, the amount of sheer power is astounding, but..." Hinata looked disappointed. Rimuru thinks it can't be helped, because with his majestic presence nowhere to be found, it was hard to imagine he was a catastrophe-class monster. The rest of the Holy Knights shared the same sentiments, all with confused expressions hanging on their faces. They said, I can't believe it. That's the storm dragon we were told such terrifying tales about? You gotta be kidding me? I kind of feel bad for him." There were many individuals who had already been fooled by Veldora's appearance. Due to Rimuru's clone, Veldora was arguably a handsome devil with his mouth shut. Some girls would probably fall for it when some handsome guy like him is begging with those distressed eyes. But don't get fooled now everyone. This guy was a spoiled, good-for-nothing dragon creature. If Rimuru didn't allow things as it is now, Veldora would cause more problems in the future. Wisdom King Raphael talks, report. Probability of outburst of storm dragon Veldora's Yauki has fallen to a safe range. Rimuru is amazed that Raphael was able to predict through calculations that Luminas would do that. It shouldn't be possible, and there is no way it can see that far into the future. But no need to give him credit since during the fight with Hinata, Raphael did so well too. Rimuru shook his head, banishing the thought. He took a glance around and announced, "We should change the venue next. I know we've had a few misunderstandings, so let's settle down for now and discuss our future relations in detail." And so, Rimuru decided to lead the Holy Knights into their town. Rigurd was waiting at the city entrance. He was panting, and it seemed like he hurried his way to greet Rimuru's group after receiving Sowei's news. There was still plenty of time left, but that was just Rigurd's personality. The man loved to rush to his duty. Rigurd announces, "Thank you all for coming, and welcome to our city." Rimuru appreciated the way Rigurd greeted the Holy Knights with a beaming smile. He didn't display a single trace of hostility towards these individuals, even when earlier they thought they would fight against them. Rigurd also added, "We will prepare meals for all of you, so do tell if you have any dietary restrictions." His diligence in studying was truly admirable. Rimuru thinks that Rigurd must have learned about the human culture or mindset during his encounters with adventurers and merchants. Would anyone believe that this guy used to be a helpless goblin? Hinata looked a bit awkward and replied, "Oh, no. There is no need to go out of your way for us." Hinata plans to turn down Rigurd's offer, but they still had to discuss their future plans. It was already evening by now, so they may have to move meetings to the next day. Since they were here anyway, he might as well show these guests around town. Rimuru interrupts, "Don't worry about it. Let's leave the detailed discussion for tomorrow. Today we should hold a feast in celebration of our peaceful resolution and have some fun," and Veldora agrees, "Oh, a feast. That's a wonderful idea. And that will come with fine drink, yes?" It seemed like Veldora was fine. Luminas was standing next to Rimuru out of nowhere and said, "If this is a feast, I imagine I am invited as well?" Rimuru was surprised but still asked, "Of course we will. Should I call you Luminas Dono?" And Luminas answers, "That sounds quite awkward." Luminas is fine. Rimuru thinks that, since they are both members of OCTAGRAM, he should follow through and spare the courtesy. Rimuru responds, "All right, Luminas, call me Rimuru as well. But about Veldora." Before Rimuru could finish, Luminas interrupted, "Who I will not forgive, by the way. That much is certain, I've come here today to atone for what my servants have done. Rimuru, I shall judge that lizard on another day for your sake." Rimuru is surprised that Luminas really called him by his name. He thought she would act more high and mighty, but it turned out that she had quite the forthright personality. Veldora then started acting out, which triggered Luminas again. Veldora yelled, "What? I've had more than enough punishment," and Luminas replied, "Silence and stop nagging already. I'm the one who's compromising here, okay? Or how about we fight it for real right now, so we could settle this right here," where Veldora proudly answers back, "Gahahaha. Interesting. I'll show you my power after evolution then." And the two started fighting again. Rimuru thinks that, if he continued to allow the two to act so recklessly, this entire town may end up destroyed. Rimuru said to them, "Stop it. You stop that right now. No fighting is allowed here." Luminas seemed to be finally done and quite satisfied, also having drained a large amount of magicules. Rimuru asked, "Speaking of our feast, is it fine if we can't serve meals as luxurious as those during the Walpurgis banquet?" And Luminas nodded to affirm Rimuru's questions. "I did not attend the last one because I had a bad feeling about it, but that alone shouldn't be a problem preventing me from going. My own team of cooks produce delicacies similar in quality to what you found over there. Is there any rare alcohol here? That lizard over there seems to be looking forward to it, which seems to be rubbing off on me as well now." Seeing how Luminas behaved, the old butler serving by her side spoke up, "Luminas-sama, do you not feel that is too careless of you?" He had extraordinarily good posture, and from the general aura he presented, this servant can be compared to Louis. Luminas turned to the man with displeasure, "Why do you insist on opening your mouth constantly, Gunther? This is why I didn't want to bring you along." And Gunther answers, but it is my duty, my lady. Where Luminas said, well, enough of that. Rimuru here seems to be quite the reasonable man as well. I'm not about to settle things with Veldora right here, so there's nothing to be concerned about. Gunther was about to disagree but Luminas added, I said enough. Don't you even think about ordering me around, an ancient demon lord. I bid you to go back ahead of me. Luminas illustrated her aggressive nature. The elder butler named Gunther couldn't defy Luminas, so he decided to obey after a momentary period of hesitation. So Gunther told them, then, I shall depart first. And Luminas gladly replies, very good. Thanks for the hard work, Gunther. You worry far too much. I have Louis and Hinata here. Where Gunther justified, I cannot help but worry about Princess. He then turned to Louis, then I shall leave the rest to your care, Louis. Even when Louis seemed troubled, he replies, understood. Rimuru can see that Luminas probably toys around with them all day long. Gunther vanished the moment he heard Louis' response. Luminas seemed delighted and announces, that annoying fella is gone. Now I can enjoy the feast all I want. Whether they wanted or not, the Holy Knight Order was forced to join as well. No one dared to object, since none of them wished to displease Luminas. It was only natural for the Holy Knights to feel confused after going through all of this. Moreover, Rimuru's duel with Hinata before was also at a superhuman level. Then they have extinguished the 7 celestial sages and they found out the god they worshipped all along was a demon lord. Now they had to witness demon lord Luminas battling against a storm dragon Veldora. While they have pledged support for Hinata and appeared calm, this would take time for them to fully accept. And that's it for my video. Now, it's shout-out time. Welcome to the new members of Veldora's Loyal Knights. Thank you the Gons06 Gaming. And thank you Shadow. I also want to thank my beloved existing loyal knights. Next, I want to give a shout out to my Discord boosters. Thanks to the following for boosting the server. Thank you so much everyone. See you on my next upload.